All right, so let's talk about some goals and hopes that you have for the coaching session.
Some goals I have for the coaching sessions, hopefully, me being on the right track, whether that is choosing another topic or this topic. Even though I do present next week, of course, I just want to do the best that I can. And I'm pretty sure you'll give me good feedback when it comes to this. And, just helping me out in areas that I need to be helped out with.
Well, if you want to do your full draft right now.
Okay.
I'll be in that backpack. 1 second.
You're fine.
All right, feel free to start whenever.
Okay. I'm sorry. Those are the two words that people usually say when they have messed up or when they're expressing some type of hurt. Now, I know that there has been in many situations where when people say, I'm sorry, you just are not feeling it. That could be because of various reasons. Whether they done messed up so much that you just don't feel like hearing I'm sorry, or just at that moment you just feel like they're not honestly sorry. I'm sorry is not really supposed to fix, but it is supposed to express regret. I knew about the 5 love languages, but I didn't know about the 5 apology languages. And here in this presentation today, I'm going to inform you about the 5 apology languages. One of them is expressing regret. This apology language focuses on emotional hurt that you've experienced from other person's actions or behavior. Focusing on emotional hurt means that hearing a genuine I'm sorry goes a long way for you. When someone is expressing regret, you feel that they are expressing the guilt and shame that they feel or hurt that caused you pain. You are not looking for the next step and how to fix the problem. You're looking for the person's hurt to own the emotional hurt that they've caused. Now, of course, with the 5 love languages, you can take an apology language to learn your apology language. And of course, even before taking the test, I knew that expressing regret was one of my top 5 apology languages. These are for the type of people that they basically feel as though they've hurt you so much that they have to say I'm sorry, because they're basically, I would say, they're taking on your role. So they can imagine themselves in your shoes and how they would have felt, and so that expresses them to say sorry. Now, of course, this is all based upon emotion, which is, to me, one of the right ways to say I'm sorry, is expressing regret. The second one is accepting responsibility. This apology language requires the person apologizing to admit that they were wrong and accept responsibility for their wrongdoing. This can be difficult for us to do, as it is challenging to admit your mistakes, especially if those mistakes have caused pain to someone else. However, if this is your apology language, you are looking for a genuine apology that accepts responsibility and does not attempt to make excuses or justifications. For an apology to feel genuine, you need the other person to simply say, I am wrong, without further explanation. Now, accepting responsibility is actually one of the love apology languages that I've lacked. And I feel like this may be due to me admitting my mistakes, as much as I want to say them or not. But these are the type of people that actually feels genuine, and they actually have to feel like they actually have to put the next step forward in saying, okay, so how can I fix this? Not saying that one is greater than the other, but of course, no love language or apology language is greater than the other. But this is just the type of person that takes it to the next step. And the third one is genuinely repent. This apology language just focuses on how the person apologizing will modify their behavior in future similar situations. Not only is there a genuine apology for the pain caused, but also verbalization for the desire to change. Genuinely repenting takes the extra step towards change, as you need to hear the person express they want to change and set realistic goals for how to make those changes. Unlike expressing regret, you are looking for the next step in how your partner will ensure this does not happen again. So genuinely repent is just like, I don't know, church, when they say you repent, it's like you genuinely never want to do it again. Now, this is not my love language because I feel like I mess up all the time. But I would definitely say these are the people. These are the people that care very much and very deep, I guess I would say. But also I feel like these are the people that also could be manipulators if you really think about it. Because if they want to say make sure that you're okay, but they also want to make sure that they never do it again. But what are the odds that they won't like ever do it again? And then the fourth one is make restitution. This apology language requires justification or explanation for the person's wrongdoing. If this is your apology language, you want to hear from the partner that they still love you, even after hurt feelings. There are many ways to make restitution, especially if we look at the 5 love language. To feel loved after an apology, your partner must meet your love language to make restitution. Essentially, this one is you're looking for assurance that your partner still cares and attempting to assure you by meeting your needs in the way that are most important to you. Making restitution for me was my least love language. I don't know, maybe it's because this is the love language that they have to explain their wrongdoing and still say that they love you. But to me, actions speak louder than words, so maybe this is the one that just didn't catch me as much as like it should have, I guess I would say. And plus, I really don't need justifications because for me, it's like after you've done something, if I just get a genuine, like, because I am an emotional person, I feel like emotions are what tugs me forward. I really don't care why you did it. And the last one is request forgiveness. This apology language is all about asking for forgiveness and giving your partner space to decide if they forgive you. If this is your love language, it is meaningful to you for your partner to actually ask for forgiveness. Requesting forgiveness is much different than demanding forgiveness. The key to requesting forgiveness is allow the hurt partner to make the final decision, rather than force it upon them. By demanding forgiveness, you're taking away the sincerity if forgiveness is given. Alright. Request forgiveness. Okay, so I really don't like when people ask for forgiveness neither. So this was definitely on the bottom lower of my apology language. The reason why I don't like when people ask for forgiveness is because I feel like people grow or people will talk to you in their own time. And so I really don't like when people, it's just like you're begging for it to get resolved, and like problems and situations, like they take time. Like, I know it could be something small, and even if it's something small, 9 times out of 10, I'm just going to forgive you, something like that. But if it's like hurt damage or something that you said that you wouldn't do and you did it again, requesting for forgiveness, I feel like these are the people that are beggars. The people who request for forgiveness are not my type of people. But those are my 5 apology languages, and I hope that they have spoken to you in some sort of way or have made you realize that there are some people in my life who may actually apologize like this. Just like the 5 love languages, it's you should definitely take the test to realize how you, what attracts you in the 5 apology languages. Not saying that one is better than the other, but so that you can know how to apologize and what attracts you and everything else of that nature. Thanks again. Bye.
Alright, cool.
What was that?
That is at 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
That was 7 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the max time?
Max is 10, minimum is 8.
Wow. At this point, I need to, that was just, let me stop because the camera's still running. But, yes.
Okay. Well, maybe we could make it unique to you since you might be changing your topic anyways.
Right.
But general feedback, it's really good. I enjoyed that you did add a lot of eye contact even though you're reading and you might be changing topics. I'm happy to see that you're still making an effort of learning the information and you know a lot about it.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that you took the test so that you could express how you connect to the apology languages. That's really cool. One of the things is, of course, time. You're a little short, so maybe be more thorough when you present later on. And I don't know how to continue forward because I don't want to nitpick something that isn't.
It's okay. You can go ahead. This is for you. Make sure that you get those points. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let's that's pretty much for my general feedback.
Okay.
Obviously, if you were actually presenting, I would have been like, can you stand up? Do you have a PowerPoint or something? But with what's given, so line by line. So let's start again at your beginning.
So at my beginning, that's when I say the two words, I'm sorry. And what does that mean to you? Like, I feel like I'm sorry has just become so, like, general. Like, that's what I'm supposed to say, but do I actually feel it? So I feel like the 5 apology languages, like, that's like the intro into, like, what I'm talking about. So, of course, these all are words of I'm sorry, but I guess I'm sorry should be coming not from what they've done to you, but from, like, if they're truly hurting or not. Like, if they're hurting emotionally, or do they just want to get it over with, or if they're actually expressing regret, like all these other things. So I guess my intro would be like the attention getter. Attention getter.
Okay. Well, maybe one way to do that. So obviously, there's different ways of expressing I'm sorry. So maybe you could be like, I'm sorry, monotone, and then do it like, I'm sorry, and then like, or like, I know some, like the I'm sorry is begging for forgiveness is like offering gifts as well. So maybe if you had a prop or something and you'd be like, here's a flower, I'm sorry, or something to really get the attention, especially if you say I'm sorry in multiple ways, people are gonna be like, what's happening? And then you can go into your little spiel about, have you ever been through a situation where I'm sorry wasn't really felt? So maybe opening up with that, and definitely, I feel like since we have a lot of time, your intro was a little short.
Okay.
So maybe
extend it.
Maybe extend it somehow. Definitely doing the like, I'm sorry, and everyone's like, sorry, what? What are you doing? Might help. And then just being like expressive, doing that. And then definitely you could use body language for that too.
True. Yeah.
Be like, I'm sorry. Or something, you know. All right, let's continue on with your presentation, and I'll stop with anything I feel like can be changed differently.
Okay. So immediately after that, after the intro, I then go into the 5 apology languages. Of course, for the 5 apology languages, I have to define what the term is and then give the definition. But I'm feeling like after each definition I give, either do an act or a skit representing this or a situation that can really describe what each of these are. And maybe I'll do it with celebrities, or maybe I'll do it within TV shows, you know, something that's common that everybody can be like, oh, that's what that love language, that's what that apology language is.
Yeah. So something that you made me think of saying that with like giving the definition and everything, I think something that'll hit home with everyone is that if you choose one word, like after you give the whole definition and choose one word within it to really hit home with people, because we'd like to think we're going to remember the whole definition, but as a takeaway, maybe being like, what's the first?
Expressing regret.
So you could be like, maybe just regret or expression, something like that, just to get the point across. But doing the skits would be good too, because that'll definitely sink in. So having like definition, the one word, and then actual representation of what that is would be good. And it definitely help with your length if you kind of go into it a little bit more. And then, so what's the second love or apology language?
The second is accepted responsibility. This is you're looking for a genuine apology that accepts responsibility and does not attempt to make excuses or justifications. So basically saying that I am wrong without further explanation.
So it's pretty much like, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah, but I feel like this is the hardest. Even though that seems like that what people want, this is the hardest because it puts them in a lower position, and people want like to be in lower positions, whether that be male or female, of admitting their mistakes.
yeah. So maybe again using like the one word in a skit. I kind of like how Lily used the how there's loopholes to saying I'm sorry I made a mistake with putting it back on the person who was hurt.
Right.
So,
right. And I'm just like, why do we do that?
Because I don't know, we don't want to admit we're wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
And then be like, I'm sorry, but
Right.
like okay. Especially since I don't know. I feel like we try to find loopholes sometimes because people who ask for forgiveness and say I'm sorry often, then it doesn't mean anything to a person, and then they're like, well, I'll word it this way or something.
Right.
So let's go on to the third apology language.
The third apology language is genuinely repent. They will modify their behavior in future simulations. So basically, this is the one where you're looking for the next step.
So it's like, now
This
you've said
is-
the words, you're looking for the actions
Yeah,
later.
so this is the double duo.
Okay. Yeah. I like how you brought it back to church because
so people can.
I hear a lot of ministers be like, repent,
Yeah.
and Jesus will save you, and everything like that. But saying it like that and having that example, but we're always going to maybe make a mistake again.
Mhm.
So
maybe not all. I can say not all apology languages. That doesn't mean 100%. That.
but it means they're going to make an effort to try
Yeah.
to not to do it again.
Right.
So maybe having some type of example of that when you use a skit or what have you, to actually make the effort of saying I'm sorry and I'm going to do it again.
Right.
And then, all right. The fourth apology language.
Is make restitution. Basically, you're looking for assurance that your partner still cares after that they say sorry in ways that are and meeting your needs that are most important to you. So, these are the type of people, like after they say sorry, you feel like it's upon them to not only change their actions, but to be like, do you still love me?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's the most weirdest love language, but
Yeah, that is really strange.
yeah, but I feel like it's for people. No, I'm not going to say
Okay.
that.
So restitution is mostly it's making sure that you're still loved
After being hurt. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is so weird, because like, I don't want to hear that, because it seems like it's softening the blow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry and I still love you. Like, no, don't do that to me. That's not my love apology language.
Yeah. So it's okay. I see why you're like, I'm gonna stop myself because I could totally relate to that one.
Yeah, it says you're looking for assurance that your partner still cares and is attempting to assure you by meeting your needs in ways that are most important to you. But that's the last thing I'm thinking about after you're saying sorry.
Yeah.
Like, to me, after you say sorry, it's then again, it goes back on me to be like, is this person really sorry or not? And like, the last thing I'm thinking about is hearing, I love you, or, that's just not, I'm just already.
That's interesting that it goes from the person of the hurtfulness back to the person who was hurt. So it's a good way to do that. I don't know. That's kind of to the point of like abusive relationships.
Yeah.
Apology. Like,
For real.
I'm sorry I hurt you. Okay, but do you still love me?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
So, that,
I feel like this is also the people who their love language is gifts. Because think about it, like if your love language is gifts, you like, you know, people taking out the trash, giving you gifts and everything like that. But they're giving gifts to show you that, hey, I still care. That can also be a manipulative thing, a domestic violence thing. So these are for the people who, like, for instance, Cardi B and Offset, you know, they just broke up. This is the type of apology language where he's like, can I take you to Puerto Rico or something like that, like so that we can get back together. This will be Offset's apology language.
Yeah, that's interesting. So when you're giving your examples, were you thinking of maybe doing more on the comedic side or truly showing the representation, so like restitution? Well, I mean, you could do
like the comedic side. I feel like that would resonate with people because I feel like being funny always resonates with people. I don't know.
That's true. I'm just worried. So like, we're talking about how I'm sorry is not a serious thing anymore.
Oh, true.
So that's why
my purpose.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to think. I'm like, do we want to go the abusive relationship route and talk about how restitution is a good example for that kind of I'm sorry happening? Because I know comedy resonates, but also seriousness can resonate as long as you do it poetically, I guess. And
I like your point.
Yeah. All right. Can we step back for a second? And what's the second apology language?
Accepting responsibility.
Okay. Cool. Just for my own personal notes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, and then go ahead with the fifth one.
The fifth one is request forgiveness. This apology language is about asking for forgiveness and giving your partner space to decide if they forgive you. But that's what I don't like is that asking for is that laptop still on?
I'll check real quick. Ignore my face right now, Ashley. Oh yeah, it's still going.
Okay.
It probably just dimmed the screen to save the battery.
Oh, okay.
Cool. All right. Continue with request forgiveness.
Request forgiveness is a person that asks for forgiveness, like immediately after they say, I'm sorry. They just feel the need to. I feel like they feel the need to because they don't want to take the expressing regret. I feel like the opposite of expressing regret is asking for forgiveness.
Yeah. So this is the type of language. So not language. Well, yeah.
Because you don't want to feel the guilt, you don't want to feel the emotional shame.
Yeah.
So you're just saying like, will you forgive me?
Yeah. So this is kind
but
of
it's
like,
only for themselves. I just really thought about it.
Yeah. So this is like when you get punched by your sibling and they're like, I'm sorry, don't tell mom.
Yes.
Because they don't want that the consequences to affect them.
Right. That is it.
All right. Cool. So now that we've done that, let's do your closing portion and then.
Okay. My closing portion needs work on. I don't know how to like wrap it all back up. That's probably because I don't know what aim I'm trying to get at other than the 5 apology languages. Like, you know how Lily, she had the 5 apology languages, but she did it through the Me Too movement / consent with the 5 people who apologize and stuff like that differently. So I don't know what I'll relate mine's back to. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's the bigger picture.
Yeah. Just go ahead and go through what you have so far. Maybe we can resolve the weakness of the closing.
Okay. Just as I have stated, there are 5 love languages. There are also 5 apology languages. Identifying your 5 apology languages will definitely see how people apologize and how you apologize. And I feel like this is just as special as knowing your 5 love languages, because people want to feel as though they're important and that they're genuinely sorry.
Okay. Cool. So what I would suggest is that everyone wants to feel loved, right?
Mhm.
Everyone wants to feel forgiveness at some point.
True.
So when you find your whole love language, I know the author makes an expression of like filling the tank. Make sure you're expressing the other person's love language in your relationship, because my husband and I had to read this book before we got married, so funny thing.
What is it?
What?
What book?
The five love languages.
What are your love languages?
So mine is quality time and his is physical touch.
Wow. Mine's is my first one is words of affirmation and quality time. Those are my two best. Which is what I like, because I like hearing. I love my quality time.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, I like quality time, but I don't. I feel like physical touch is not always me. You know, I'm not like the person that hugs everybody when they see them.
So that's my fifth love language, but it's
Really?
his first. So it's something we have to work on in our own relationship.
Yeah.
So, but that's like eye-opening as I'm suggesting my own relationship. I didn't know about the 5 apology languages, so that's really cool. So maybe you could hit it home and be like, this is, I might want to word it. It's definitely for everyone, because everyone wants to feel loved, having their love tank filled, as whatever the author's name is, you know, making the other person feel desired and everything, and making sure that the I'm sorry is better for your relationship, and trying to think through how it would be meaningful. It's a good ending, a good hit it home. I don't know, have you, so your apology language is
Expressing regret, the first one.
So,
but I'm not surprised. I'm really not. I'm just an emotional human being. And I feel like I take on the emotions of others, like apathy versus empathy. And so when I know that I've done something wrong, and I know how you're feeling after the fact, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that, expressing regret.
Yeah. So maybe you could hit it home by using yourself as an example within a relationship about how you have found your love language and how it's helped somehow, or just gave yourself an awareness and how everyone else should be aware of it as well. So then you can express the I'm sorry as best as you can. Because there's definitely every single situation you have used this type of I'm sorry, but maybe not in the most appropriate way. So like, repent, but did you really mean it? And I don't know, I'm getting to losing my thoughts as I talk.
You're good.
Maybe.
At this point, I don't know if I'm tired or if I'm just hungry. I'm probably hungry.
Maybe both. So, let's see. So, modeling. We should demonstrate how to improve. I haven't been doing that line.
Yeah. I was like, I feel like that's what you've been doing this whole entire time.
Yeah. So, we could go back for when I made the suggestion, maybe trying to find the one word that hits home to each one. And I've noticed, and I'm not trying to like look back on Lily's, and I don't remember actually if she used, so within each definition there's an R word that can resonate with each one. So like regret, responsibility, repent, restitution, and request.
Oh, yeah.
So you could be like, the 5 R's of apology love language is, and then have each word hit home to each apology language. And definitely use those as an example.
And trying to find a word that resonates.
Yeah. And saying the 5 R's will definitely, that helps me remember, be like, all right, so apology language, 5 R's, let's go. Because I'm one of those people where, like, if you make an acronym or something, I remember better. So maybe other people in the audience will feel the same way. So at the beginning, like I was talking about the I'm sorry's, you could definitely, be like, I'm sorry, and then I'm sorry, or be like, I'm sorry, something like that might help definitely get the point across. And then people will be like, what? Is Ebony having like Tourette's of I'm sorry right now? What's happening? And then that's sort of like, oh, okay, like you got their attention.
Right.
Definitely help. Were you thinking about, when you said skits, were you thinking about like, I just gave those as skits, but reusing within each apology language? Were you thinking of using something online, or?
I think about using something. I feel like for this presentation, using the PowerPoint is my best option because I feel like I'll run time, or I'll be more likely to be over time if I actually act something out. So I feel like relating it back to either a couple on TV, a cartoon, something like that I can explain that everybody knows will do.
So were you thinking of using video, or maybe just like a picture and be like, this is...
I feel like a picture. So like, for instance, I was going to name a character. So Mr. Krabs. Hold up. No, we're not going to do Mr. Krabs. I guess we're going to do SpongeBob.
Okay.
SpongeBob, to me, for his apology language, is, I don't know, it's either genuinely repent or express regret. Because he is annoying, but I feel like SpongeBob is not mean. He's really nice, just annoying. And when he feels like he's done something, I feel like he says sorry, but he'll take it like to the max.
Yeah.
Because that's just his personality.
Yeah. Okay. So, using SpongeBob.
For Gary Come Home, when Gary left because Gary felt like he wasn't being appreciated, and he done wrote that song.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, or is I'm thinking of Phineas and Ferb? When you come home, Perry. Let's do Phineas and Ferb. Come home, Perry.
Okay.
I feel like Phineas and Ferb is, I don't know.
Well, what
you got me thinking.
What you could do is maybe find different cartoons to express that, so it's more comedic, but even like more adult geared cartoons, like maybe like Bob's Burgers or something like that. Find some type of trope, so then you can go from like funny but serious at the same time. Try to intertwine.
So I can still enjoy it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it'll be good with everything we've talked so far.
Yeah.
Now, I want to kind of switch gears and start bouncing ideas to help with your actual topic.
Mm-hmm.
So then you actually get something out of this session.
Okay.
Because I definitely want to encourage you any way I can to help develop a plan for your actual topic.
Uh-huh.
So you're going to be doing what for real now? Not the apology languages.
So I'm thinking about going to the environmental racism round. Because number one, I care about the topic. And number two, I feel like I can express it. But I don't know, it's just like the overall arching thing that I have to hammer down on. Like, your thing was like you love animals, so I wasn't surprised that animals were on there, including with the bats. But your overall point was reaching at how I love these animals, but you can also be like responsible and trying to preserve these habitats locally, trying to get somewhere globally.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you related it back. I don't know how I relate mine's back.
Okay. So what you could do is could have the overarching theme be like racism, but like when I think of racism, I think of white privilege and things of that nature, but we don't think of it within an environmental way. We think of it as
a systematic way.
Yeah. So so just like I brought up the point, can you think of any local endangered species? And people did bring up ideas, but most of them were wrong. They weren't the ones that I wanted to showcase. You could be like, what do you think of when we say racism, when racism is happening, and then you could be like, but did you know, like those are all good points, that it actually affects environment of people who are being discriminated. I'm sorry. So you could be like, you think of all these things, but there's actually another point here that people really miss. If I had my book with me, I could be like, here you go, because it's all about Gary, Indiana, and how everything's transitioned.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Especially since like the environment is everyone, and everyone should have the same. So just like everyone has the right to happiness and stuff like that in our Constitution, it should be also environment too. We all live here,
right?
So maybe doing a spin-off that way. If there's a way to hit it home with you personally, that'll definitely be a good attention grabber. So, I don't know, is there any examples in your life? If you don't want to get too personal, don't feel.
It's okay. No, there aren't examples, but definitely where I'm from, I feel like it's more of a public housing, which it really doesn't. I mean, it could go into environmental racism, but it's not like bad as in Gary, Indiana, or bad as in air quality in China. Like nothing to those depths, or like Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could. So, I know from that book about how districts change because of environment quality. So you can talk about it's not bad now where I live, but it could be. And these are examples of what's happened in the past, and this could be the future for my neighborhood, or something like that. Just to make people like, whoa, okay. But I think it's a good topic because not a lot of people think about it that way. The quality of, because Gary's just bad. Like people are like dying because of exposure because they have to live there because it's the only place they can afford. And it's so sad.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I feel like I'm wrong. I'll find it. I got days.
You got days.
I literally got 6 more days. 6 days. Because today's the 6th. I literally have 6 days.
Yeah. So maybe, if you want me to, I could send you like the title of the book. So then you can maybe pull quotes from it to help you develop a plan more for the topic you're more interested in than the apology languages.
Right.
And just make sure if it's something that you feel is within you, make sure you make that connection when you give the presentation because that definitely helps get your point across. But yeah, that's okay. If you need help further along, I mean, I'm your coach, so I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not going to help you at all. So if you have any questions or anything, as you continue, feel free to contact me. You have my number now.
Yeah.
So, or if you're trying to debate which topic to do. So, yeah. You feel good about everything that's going on?
Yeah, I feel good.
Cool. I think that wraps it up. It'll be great. I'm really excited. If you do